probably a really deep, like people are like, girl, this is K-pop Demon Hunters. Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel, yours truly Lucy, where I just make self-help content, mental health content, and just relatable content for young adults. So if that is definitely your thing, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. So on to today's topic. So I'm going to talk about something that has really taken the world by storm. And as you all know, K-pop Demon Hunters. It came out about 2 months ago, but you know, all the songs are still trending. Everyone's still raving about it. So I know there have been so many videos and content out there about like the messages and the themes in the movie, but I really want to hone in on one aspect of it, and that is definitely the inner child slash shadow work aspect of the movie. And as somebody who's a big believer in shadow work and inner child work, I would just love to go over everything, maybe introduce you all to it, and see how such a great animated movie can really help you heal. So if you have not watched the movie, just be prepared. I am going to go over the whole plot, so there are definitely going to be spoilers. So if you want to wait until you watch the movie, then be my guest, but I will be going in depth about the plot. Let's go over the two main characters, Rumi and Jinu. So Rumi is like this perfect all-rounder. Everyone loves her, but it turns out that she has a really deep secret, and that is being half demon, half K-pop demon hunter. And this is something that only her guardian knows. Not even her group members know this. And this is a big shame that she carries around and that she feels like she has to hide from the world. And on the other side, we have Jinu, who is the main antagonist of the story. He is fully demon, and pretty much he was sent to make sure that the K-pop demon hunters do not seal away the demon world with the Hamu. How he became a demon is also through a lot of shame and guilt. Like hundreds of years ago, he had the opportunity to gain fame and wealth, but it was at the expense of his mother and his sister. Pretty much he had to leave his sister and mother behind to get everything that he wanted. And after centuries, he still holds that guilt. So as you can see, both characters hold on to shame and guilt from something that has happened in their past. And that is the first thing when it comes to shadow work slash inner child work. A lot of us don't really realize it, but there's a lot of things that we are currently holding on to from our past, that our body is holding on to, that our hearts and our mind are holding on to. A lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of anxiety, and this usually all stems from something that happened to you in your past. And just like Rumi and Jinu, we always push it down. We try to cover it up. We try to just do our best without realizing that these things are still very much affecting our well-being till this day. And in Rumi's case, you start to see this manifest in her actual life. So she starts losing her voice, which is something that's very concerning because she is a K-pop idol. And also, their voices is what helps Hamu. Then she starts becoming really secretive with her members, and you really start to see that even though she is trying to protect everyone that she loves with keeping the secret, it's starting to put a rift between her and her members, and they don't know what's going on because Rumi is holding on to something that she feels like she needs to be ashamed of. And I think this is a really big example of what it looks like to repress your shadow self in real life. You think by repressing it, repressing your feelings and your memories and all the bad stuff, you feel like you have control of it. But never acknowledging it and never accepting that shadow self is what actually keeps that shadow self of you in control, and it starts to manifest in your real life, and that's usually your mental health. And I'll even show you an example from my life. Lately, I have also been doing my own shadow work, inner child work, and something that I've really been exploring is my need to always be perfect, my people-pleasing tendencies, and how this actually manifests in me of being very anxious. And I've learned a lot that some of my people-pleasing tendencies and my tendencies to be perfect is because of things that have happened to me in my past where I felt like if I wasn't perfect or if I didn't make people happy, that I felt unsafe. No, and I really think that is like one of the biggest things about doing the shadow work is just really learning that all this stem from is you feeling unsafe. And you can even see that in Rumi as well. She feels like she can't come out with that she is half demon, because then people that she loves will reject her. The only person who does even know this doesn't even seem to fully accept this part of her. So she has learned over time that this is something to be shameful of, that the whole me is not something that I can present to the whole world. And I think that is something that is very prevalent in everybody's life. There's probably something in your childhood where you thought you could be 100% yourself. It turns out you couldn't, and it made you feel very unsafe, and it made you lock away that part of yourself. And I'm here to say we are going to shine a light on that, okay? Because that is 100% you. And you learn with shadow work, it's really not until you really confront these feelings head on and allow yourself to feel all of it, all the embarrassment, the shame, the guilt, that you can finally be free from this. And we see this later in the movie where Rumi has hit rock bottom. She was exposed in front of the whole world, in front of her members, as being half demon, and her members did end up turning on her. Her worst fear materialized. And then she goes to her guardian, and her guardian's still like, we can fix this. We can make up like an excuse, like, we can fix this. Well, Rumi is just like, no, I don't want to fix this. There's nothing to fix. This is who I am. And I think that is something that when you are doing the shadow work, when you're doing this inner child work, that is something you really have to acknowledge, that this is who you are, this is what has happened. And I really have understand through doing all this work is to really give yourself grace and give your inner child a lot of grace too. I think once we start to reconcile that part of us that has felt that kind of guilt, that kind of shame, that kind of sadness, we can now reconcile it with the part of us that has grown so much since everything has happened. That you are not the same person who you were all those years ago, but the person you were wasn't a bad person. The person you were was trying to protect you. And I feel like this is going a lot deeper than the actual plot, but it all relates to it in some way. It wasn't until Rumi completely accepted who she was where that she found her voice again. And I think that's something that we all need to do too, is accept the dark parts of us. Only trying to hold on to the light parts. We're not perfect beings, okay? We are beings with faults, with imperfections, and that is okay to acknowledge, to accept, to celebrate. And we see that at the end of the movie where her members accept her, that they do defeat the demons and seal off the demon world. And she was able to do this while showing her true colors. And the same thing that Rumi had to do, I had to do. Maybe not on a stage with thousands of people and fighting demons, but I've had to do it too, through journaling and really looking inward, through constant affirmation saying that I am safe now. And I can tell you, just like Rumi, I 100% feel more comfortable with who I am and showing my true colors out there to the world. Because I believe as long as you try to do your best and try to be a good person, then who cares what other people think about who you truly are? And to really bring the message home, I really want to go over some of the lyrics to What It Sounds Like, which is one of the last songs in the movie. So I think some of the most powerful lyrics in the actual whole movie, not just the song itself, is some of the things from the first verse, where Rumi says, I try to fix it, I try to fight it, my head was twisted, my heart divided. And then in the chorus, I think something that is very powerful is saying that I broke into a million pieces and I can't go back. But now I'm seeing all the beauty in the broken glass. So I really think that is very important to realize, like, as I was saying before, you don't need to be perfect. Things have happened to you in your past that have probably completely broken you, but you can still find beauty in all of that. Even in all the chaos and the craziness, even if you're shattered, you are still beautiful because you are you. And then, of course, like I said, with the shadow self looking inward, another line is, show me what's underneath, I'll be your harmony. Really revealing what's in there, what's in your heart, what's been on your heart for so long. Finally unraveling that, revealing that self to yourself, and learning how to live in harmony with that part of yourself. And then I think just something that's powerful, how the song ends and really shows what the results of doing the shadow work can look like, is saying, my voice without the lies, this is what it sounds like. Fearless and undefined, this is what it sounds like. So then I think the outro of the song is probably one of the most powerful parts of really healing. Mama. And I think the outro is probably one of the most important and strongest examples of what it is to truly heal that shadow part of yourself. And the outro goes, when darkness meets the light, this is what it sounds like. So once you have been able to reconcile that shadow part of yourself, once you're able to accept that part of yourself, you will truly find who you are and you can truly start living in your truth. When that darkness finally meets the light, you will truly understand what it means to really go through healing and being okay with the person you are. So I know that was a lot. I know that's probably a really deep. Like, people are like, girl, this is K-pop Demon Hunters. But I think all forms of media are art. And I think you can learn so many messages through art. So if you really like this video and if you like the themes, please let me know. I can do more videos like this, going over movies and seeing how we can find the healing message in them. And please make sure to support my channel, like this video, and subscribe as well for more videos like this. So until next time, lovelies, this was yours truly, Lucy. Bye.